Welcome to Africa Media Australia. I'm Claude Shirali. Thank you very much for watching this video. Professor Douglas Johnson is a renowned historian who has published extensively about Sudan and South Sudan. This Oxford academic recently visited Australia along with his wife, Professor Wendy James, and together they were on their way to attend an anthropological conference in Adelaide when they were invited in Melbourne to speak to a community event organized by Africa World Book to address the community about issues happening in South Sudan. About 100 people attended the event at a Sunshine Community Centre in Melbourne West. The event was organized by Africa World Books, a publishing company created and run by an African-Australian entrepreneur and activist, Mr. Peter Lual Rich Deng, since 2013. Africa World Books showcases literature from African authors in general and South Sudanese community in particular. It encourages and enables Africans in Australia and beyond to share their stories and knowledge by publishing books. There was quite a bit of enthusiasm from the community to get their books signed by Professor Johnson. Many people bought books from the range of books published by Africa World Books. South Sudanese authors and community leaders spoke about their experiences and the need to share knowledge through literature. Reverend Tim Costello from World Vision addressed the community on his experience working in South Sudan and with South Sudanese communities. And he talked about how literature can help heal the wounds and the disunity that is hurting the newly created Republic of South Sudan. AMA attended the community event in Sunshine, and we thought we would dig a little deeper and try to find out more about Africa World Books, the event organizer. So in this interview, I'll be speaking with Peter Deng, who is with us on the phone from Perth, WA, Western Australia. And I'll also be speaking to Elizabeth Gardner, who is the Africa World Books representative in Melbourne. Peter, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us from your busy life in Perth. We understand you are the founder and manager of Africa World Book. Tell us a little bit more about your organization.
Thank you very much for having me. And Africa World Book started in 2013, and the official launch was done on the 13th October in Melbourne. And it was officially launched by Maisa Thomason, the local MP of Footscray. And the aim was to publish books about Africa and by African to educate local communities and our Australian friends about us, because they don't know much about us, and in order for them to provide services to African communities around, I thought it would be good to make books available such that they could also do their own reading before they make decisions in terms of service deliveries. Since then, we were trying also to bring book within the reach of the community. Sometimes some families don't have access to online services such as Amazon in America. And we thought it is a good thing to make things available within the local community such that the children could also get to know where they came from.
So how is Africa World Book going? In other words, how is business going?
It's a gradual development, and there are challenges here and there, and a matter of process, So far we have published 40 books. And I encourage the Africans, and particularly South Sudanese, because South Sudan have had few war, and the illiteracy war hasn't been fought yet. Compared to other countries in Africa, South Sudan, the high rate of illiteracy is very high, and I encourage them at least to move away from the oral society to at least talk of something where you can refer to something written.
How many books have you published so far, Peter?
I think there's 40 books already, and next month I'll have another 5 coming out, so it's going to be 45. And I got a number of authors who are coming from different parts of South Sudan, regardless of political affiliation. So this seems to have brought our people together regardless of the conflicts.
Peter, what do you think needs to be done to encourage more people within African communities to read books and write books?
Yeah, I would encourage a workshop like the one we had on the 2nd in Sydney and on the 8th in Melbourne and the 9th And Adelaide was on the 15th when Dr. Douglas and Professor Wilde came from the UK, and we had book launches. So I think such a forum would at least encourage the reading culture. And in order for us to be credible, to have that credibility, people must talk of what they have already written or what has been written by someone and refer the audience to such source, because misrepresentation is a crime not only in Australia but in the world, because we don't need to lie to our society that we live in. So reading culture is a big issue, and also people are full of assumption. What does this man know? Who wrote this book? I know all, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the event on the 9th of December in Melbourne with Professor Douglas Johnson.
The event was meant for the 5 authors. One was from Queensland, and we were expecting 2 from Sydney to attend the event. And also there was only one person in Melbourne who was an author in a Dinka book, who has written a Dinka books. Yeah, the event was kind of coming together. People talk about books. Douglas Johnson is someone who has done quite a lot about Sudan and East Africa in the past. So it was about book launch and the community coming together and talk about the positive development. We even had a meeting with the Victoria University on the 8th. We're meeting the Dean in the College of Art and Education, encouraging the universities to have at least Africans classes, being taught at the higher education, because those who are here would want to know more about their homeland. And I was grateful that the chief advocate of World Vision talk about the unity among the South Sudanese who have been affected by the current crisis. We had Sarah from Monash who present the topic on the impact of diaspora. So yeah, the event was really good. It was not well attended, but yeah, those are the challenges, because the reading culture, some people take things for granted. But I think it was really very good seeing the communities came together for the first time. And we done it before in Western Australia, and they came together as well. So these things seem to always bring them together, people of like mind. And this is how we can also encourage peace among ourselves. And also the president of our Australian friends, the president of other doctors like Baran Mohamed from Melbourne Uni. And also this is part of integrations, and I have spoke about the integration that people need to integrate such that they can get help. Like without you being there on the day, I think it would have not been really a good day without the media. And these are the things that people need to get. We need to know ourselves what we can provide, and anything that we cannot do, we have to call our Australian friends. They could help. And I think the children are falling out of the hook because the communities are kind of being isolated by the leadership. They want to deal with them. They have different churches. They have different associations. This seems not to work. So I would encourage the community to get integrated. At least make friendship with someone you live with in the same suburb, regardless of where they came from. Go to the same church within the same suburb instead of going to Footscray because South Sudanese are there. I think this is what is not working very well. So the event was very good, and I would like to continue with the same thing, educating the community. There are challenges. People don't buy books. There is costs associated with getting the places, and the community leadership. You see, they were not there. Those who think that they are in charge of South Sudan community, the federation chairman, they were not there, and the children were not there either.
All right, Peter, what would be your last message to the communities out there?
My message to the African communities in general is that we need to start now. It is not too late for African migrants to be part of this system. I think the workshop, the writing workshop, should be encouraged by the community association. It is something that the government of Australia could at least support. If there are people who are ready to start writing classes and share their past, with the people here and document it. For instance, the Upper Nile Province Handbook was first published by Oxford Fraser University in 1995, and the information is about 96 years. And for the first time for us to get it was when the Africa World Book was launched. So we managed to get that book to be reprinted by Africa World Book with the help of Dr. Douglas Johnson and the British Academy. And we never had that information. So I think we need to know ourselves better and write our history in our perspective and start documenting things. And also remind ourselves of what brought us here. We do not come here on a voluntary basis. It was a result of either someone looking for a better life, or could be an impact of the war that we have had. Few people came here as doctors to come and on a working visa, but I think majority of Africans came because of searching for a better life, and we cannot afford to have another problem here. We need to have peace with ourselves, and also we need to develop ourselves. I've never been back to Africa and for 10 years, and I've never been back to South Sudan for over 20 years. And the reason is that I need to achieve something. I need to make Australia my second home and contribute back to the economy of this country in any way. And I'm glad that you have done this as well for us as a platform where we could talk about what are the challenges, what can be achieved, and how can it benefit the community. The bad thing is the community, the African don't support their own initiative. They look at it, oh yeah, we're running African media. What does he know? All this, that's why we're not moving forward. So we need to start from the community, supporting the local projects, and then move on. And then wherever we cannot do well, this is where we can have mentors like Elizabeth. She has done well. She told me about your meeting yesterday. It was very good. She was very positive, very grateful. So Australian friends are ready to assist us. But do we really have time to partner with them such that we could at least be assisted?
Okay, thank you very much, Peter, for answering our questions, and we wish you good luck with Africa World Book. Apology for the sound quality that kept dropping throughout the interview. Now I'll be talking to Liz Gardner, who is the Africa World Book's representative in Melbourne. Liz, thank you very much for making yourself available to Africa Media Australia. Just to start this interview, let me just ask you to introduce yourself to our audiences.
Hi there, I'm Elizabeth Gardner, and I work with Peter Lual Rich Deng to move Africa World Books along.
Okay, Liz, how's Africa World Book going in Melbourne?
Africa World Books was founded by Peter about 3-4 years ago, and we did its launch in October 2013, and at the same place as we held our event to welcome Dr. Douglas Johnson and his wife, Professor James. It's been going slowly and steadily forwards. We have a policy of publishing books by African authors, and I suppose for the most part so far we've worked with South Sudanese authors. However, we're expanding our pool of writers, so if there are people out there who think they have a good story to tell, they should get busy and write it and then talk with us about the possibility of publishing it for them.
Now, do you publish any types of books, or are there specific books that you focus on?
We're interested in all books. We have some children's books on our list. We have autobiographies, biographies, historical books, and it gives you a very good sense of the breadth and depth of African writers in Australia.
Now, Liz, tell us a little bit about the events on the 9th of December in Melbourne. I asked Peter about that question, but I suppose you being a Melburnian, you've got a bit of a different perspective on how everything was put together.
Yes, Peter discovered that this extraordinary person was coming to Australia. And I say extraordinary because Dr. Douglas Johnson has been going in and out of South Sudan and Sudan for 47 years. All of his writing is about Sudan and South Sudan. He's an historian who works at Oxford University. And in 1977, he married another Oxford University graduate whose name is Professor Wendy James. And together they shared their love of Sudan, and Wendy actually taught at Khartoum University for about 5 years, I think it was. And so a lot of her writing has to do with a group of Africans called the Uduk, and she stayed for some years on the border of Sudan and Ethiopia, working with these people and doing ethnographic studies of their culture. So it was very good from the point of view of promoting Africa World Books. And Douglas was happy to answer questions, and I think probably he would have liked time to actually ask questions, as would have Professor Wendy. So we had a lovely night, and people made speeches and introduced themselves, and then we went into a sort of a discussion which was filmed and recorded.
Liz, what would you like to tell people out there who may have a story to tell or some knowledge to share and who want to write a book?
Well, a couple of things, I suppose. You can always find a creative writing course. That sort of discipline that it teaches and the skills that it teaches people prove to be very useful when you want to write your own autobiography or any other story. So I'd encourage people to do a writing course, but if you think that your skills are great, and I'm sure they are, then write down what you want to record and bring it along.
How can people contact Africa World Book?
We have a website which is www.africaworldbooks.com.au, and on there you can find contact numbers for Peter and the office in Western Australia. And if people would like to contact me, then my phone number is 0419 530748.
And Liz, what will be your last message out there to everyone watching?
We need the support of people. We need you to start buying books. We have some excellent quality books which talk about South Sudan and Africa in general, and they're very interesting to read and to see other people's viewpoints of your own country is really very educational.
Thank you very much, Liz, for answering our questions, and we wish you and Peter and everybody at Africa World Books good luck for the future.
Good. Thank you very much, Clyde.
All right, that is all, folks. Thank you very much for watching this video, and we encourage you to read books, and if you want to write one, well, you know that Africa World Books can help you. Just need to contact them. Until next time, stay blessed.